Hello everyone, Agion here. Another Company Heroes 2 replay. So on the left side as the OKW player, we have Pioneer, or slightly misspelled Pioneer. So on the right side as his opponent, as the USF player, we have 4Rez. This replay was submitted to me by a viewer. However, he never specified of which player he was. So I'm not going to say his name off of his email that he sent me because he'll have gamer tags for a reason, just to keep their identity partially hidden. So I'm just going to go ahead and thank you who has submitted in this replay. We do got common building to garrison. We got the three windows here for the Sturm Pioneers. They will get a significant amount of damage. Do a little bit of what's it called? Hide behind the building. I was trying to think of a proper term. I don't know if there is a proper term for that. But once he noticed his opponent was started capturing the territory thanks to the blinking territory on the minimap, he went ahead and entered back in, tried to get some good amount of damage. He is actually trading a little bit better health-wise, but we do got the reinforcing Volk squads. We do also have this Volk squad going down here, eyeing for the cutoff point of the field here. There is a tank trap along with some barbed wire. The rear echelon was a bit defensive at the moment. Didn't queue up the move, but most likely sort of forgot about it after building up the items there. You got a significant amount of damage upon the Sturm Pioneer. He decides to retreat back now, which is a good idea, so he didn't avoid 80% potential chance for a squad wipe. He should invest in his first, was it 20 or 25 munitions to a health kit, pile of health crates, just to get that squad healed up. 3 models, well, 4 models would have been a bit more nice, but 3 models with significant damage on it, they only become effective if he plays down a medical crate. Currently, the riflemen are engaging in. I would actually say the riflemen will actually win in this range, even though this unit is in garrison. They do receive a little less damage. I wouldn't be surprised if the riflemen actually win, while their models even. We do got some more riflemen here to make a more decisive factor. We do have another squad of Volks, so before Volks, so we do not have any medical crates. Oh, looks like he's going to go back for medical crates now. Looks like the cutoff point is going to be eyed by the USF player. You got these Volksgrenadier take the decisive engagement versus the rear echelon. Looks like they're trying to build up that tank trap, but they ultimately get caught out. Probably the best point actually is to hit the cutoff point. It's a bit faster than removing the fuel, but of course, this will also, if he captured him for himself, he can gain the fuel income. And plus, it's a bit better defensive position. Oh, because you can always get the heavy cover supplied by that tank trap. I remember this is the winter version where you don't have all the cover here and there. Sturm Pioneers will force away these riflemen, and there's only 3 riflemen in this building. While they do have 3, actually 4 windows to make use of, they would have a bit of trouble if there's a pincer move. Riflemen moving forward, both of them behind heavy cover, but some of the men are in the point blank within 10 meters, 10 units. So the receive accuracy does not make a difference. Is it just received accuracy, or does it also apply to the received damage modifier? Not exactly sure. Maybe they gave the cover entirely. So the riflemen will capture up that fuel point, but they most likely will be forced to fall back. Both sides rolling a bunch of misses. You got some reinforcing Volks to help secure the area. Note this barbed wire only affects the area where he potentially can capture. He can capture around the tractor. He can capture around this bale, because it's not grouped up a pile of hay. We got 2 squads of Volks versus our rear echelon and riflemen. Most likely their Volks will win out. In fact, this rear echelon will in fact go down. That's actually a bit of a problem if the case goes for heavy cab, which does in fact have that option. He also does have infantry and armor company. We got the lieutenant being the tech of choice for the USF player. He will probably eye to get some bazookas just for some AT, but his opponent is going for Battle Group HQ, so we won't have to worry about any Lux Rush or Puma Stukas or Foost. Not like you'll rush for either of those two. Unless for me, I would actually sort of rush a Puma just to counter a Stewart. But seeing the captain, there's still a chance for engaging the AA half-track or the utility car. Utility car can, of course, lay down those landmines that cause immobilization, not heavy engine damage or engine damage, but complete immobilization. Like the Regal AT mines for the Austere. Or the AA half-track is very reliable. I tend to get that more against Austere players, because then if I keep it alive into the late game, I can use to shoot down the JU 87s. Then he gets something to drink. One moment. Always keep a bottle near me, near my computer. Unopened, of course. And I always keep it on the ground so it doesn't get spilled onto my computer or my keyboard. I have lost a keyboard because I spilled because my soda exploded and it shorted it out. We do have some riflemen here, not eyeing for the heavy cover. You don't really need to worry about decapping the point. You usually want to preserve your manpower and win the engagement is better. Of course, he will fall back to this heavy push, but this unit is quite full in health. You can always run up and you throw incendiary grenades such as this, which will displace the M2 Browning. But it is surrounded entirely. In fact, he may just... Oh, nope, there it goes. Shooting Pioneers may be able to get the squad. That's a very valuable squad to have. A heavy suppression platform, especially when his opponent does not have any forms of indirect fire or grenades. Does he have grenades? No, he does not. And so that M2 Brownings can wreak havoc against OKW players. We've got an Ambo coming out and out. Not big surprise. He's been needing some health. Overall, a very solid game from both players. Only saw that one rear echelon squad to get dropped. With this type of game style, that is a minimum loss. And he doesn't have to worry about equipping his units with bazookas, so very minimum loss. We'll get another cutoff. That's very nice. We'll give the OKW player a substantial fuel advantage. We'll go for an AA half-track, so we'll see a light vehicle coming on out. We do, in fact, have the AA half-track after the medics. Not big surprise. We do have this Browning. The Browning would, especially with the AP rounds, will make short work of the flak half-track. The flak half-track is even vulnerable to standard rifle fire, let alone I would say, the best MG in the game. I would prefer a Browning over Dishka any day, because it is non-doctrinal. It makes a huge difference. It has almost the same level of suppression, though I think it was recently toned down. But we'll get overwhelmed by a nice dual wide movement on that. We'll get a significant amount of damage. We'll wipe out this squad entirely, but there's a significant amount of reinforcements coming from the base. A bit blobby, but that is to be expected when coming directly out of the base. We'll recapture the Browning. He could, since he has 3 members at full health, he can go ahead and not worry about falling it back. You have the breakthrough operations. We'll get a squad of Panzer Fusiliers, both sides getting massive amount of infantry. We're losing a capture point. This is the reason why both sides tend to get a massive amount of infantry and really can't make use of elite infantry is because they're teching to get their weapon teams. It's such a large amount of a block. If you were to say in comparison, let's just take the British, for example. Their weapon teams are very accessible. Of course, they have the Tier 0 MG, along with what's it called? Mortar team that's just available from tier 1, and of course the AT gun. They don't really have to worry about the absurd fuel costs like USF. In order to get their Browning, they have to pay 50 fuel for teching. Or if they want to get a good indirect fire, they have to pay 60 fuel. Of course, that 60 fuel is actually quite reasonable because the pack howitzer is quite potent. Weapon rack is now open. But I'm just saying in comparison. When Austere, they have plenty of weapon teams because their fuel cost is 10, and pretty much also needed to get their own standard infantry. This flak half-track will wreak havoc on these infantry squads without any form of AT. While the AP rounds can make short work of it, but he's getting bored away by all these various infantry squads, and these squads are getting pinned down. He needs to get. He does in fact have weapon racks, but he needs to get bazookas. He does have enough for a squad of bazookas, so that is very needed. He needs one of his riflemen with bazookas. We got a Shun Pioneers attacking at close range, which will protect the flak half track from the Browning. You don't really need 2 squads in that building. However, there are 4 windows. He is making a 5th window over here-ish, so he still only needs 1 squad in there. And that house is sustaining a huge amount of fire from the flak HQ, from flak half track. A bit of a fuel investment from the US. It looks like we are going to see Captain Tech, which is not a big surprise in order to get an AT weapon. Browning is now set up. The flak half track has to give it its respect to the AP rounds. We do have substantial amount of fuel control by the USF, well, by the OKW player at the moment. And we are approaching fuel for the Sierra Panzer headquarters, so maybe eyeing that soon. Or can you always go for a mechanized HQ and get out a bunch of Pumas? I may have, the other day when I was playing game, I have a really good disposition on Pumas. This guy, this one teammate, I killed, well, enemy. He had a Cromwell out. By the time he got that Cromwell out, I had 3 Pumas. And I killed his Cromwell, no problem with 3 Pumas. Let's just say he was really not pleased and he called me a fag. I just have a good disposition on Puma. It's a very reliable anti-tank unit. It comes out early enough that you can spam it out. And it's a great way to go for also doctrinal heavies, such as the Sturm Tiger and the Jag Tiger. You got a Stuart coming on out. An interesting choice, but not a half-bad choice, though his opponent does have a number of snares available, and also the Ken Warfare to protect his flak half-track. That is very good they actually did get that. I would honestly say he should get a second one just to be safe, so he has more counters to a medium tank. Because he has a past... Oh, actually, he's no cancelled off that Stuart. That's probably a good idea, actually. We got the Browning set up. He is going to use the AP rounds, currently loaded up with rounds. We'll do a significant amount of damage. We'll throw it on smoke. After now out, he's going to get the AT gun. We'll get a nice suppression on that Volk squad before we got any incendiary off.
Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
I would say the USF player is a bit on the backhand. However, since he went for this both captain and lieutenant tech, you can always go for armor company for the for tank for the M10s. You can, and also eventually go for the Sherman bulldozers. You can always also save up for a Pershing. He does not need to invest into major tech because he has doctrinal options. You've got a brief moment of quiet as the U.S. players are starting to regain ground. You got the Sherpan's headquarters set up, guarding his fuel point, a very defensive spot. We'll do a nice instant retreat. I think it's our course in favor of the OKW player, sustaining that huge contain for a very long time. Black half track once again spotted, however, not behind the line sight blocker, which he saw the captain. He should be expecting AT gun soon. The first AT gun shot will come off though. Smoke is off cooldown, and a little bit of a weird thing happened. He is trying to use the line of sight blocker. Needs to throw down smoke, or else he will almost lost it. We'll throw incendiary out on the AT gun. Has sustained a lot of health damage. We'll be redeploying up right into the arc. did throw out smoke. Does he go force fire ground? He will not. You got a lag out on the field for indirect fire.
Assault engineers are on the lines and deployable.
We'll go for armor company. He is going to immediately deploy M10. He has approached enough fuel for another M10. It'd be another minute. 90 fuel, so a little over a minute. A minute 15 about. Actually 29. So that's actually about a minute 20. So no G43s upon this unit. We'll throw out a very nice frag, but that did no damage. I always forget these. I think these stick grenades are actually quite weak in comparison to regular pineapples and Mills bombs. You got a significant amount of damage. One more volley will actually wipe the squad, or not. But this next volley will wipe the squad. And drops the bar. Granted, he does have already plenty of infantry out in the field. Losing that's not too big of a problem, seeing he already has 5 capable infantry fighting squads. M10 is now trying to go around for some crushes. Will take 2 Panzerfaust 2 in order to get the snare. He does not have enough munitions for another, and he actually be far from it. That Panzerfaust was a huge waste. He should have just saved his munitions. We'll probably pop the crew and repair that up, just so he doesn't get snared again.
A capture point. Supply line just got cut off.
You got the N10 once ahead going forward. He just now has enough. Actually, no. Was it 15 or 30? It does cost 30, so he will not have enough for another Panzerfaust. We do got a Beckenwerfer lining up a shot. Should just stop moving. We'll go have the speed movement bonus from the road. We'll get a number of crushes right there, but most likely we'll not get a Panzerfaust. Actually, anti-tank grenade from the Panzerfusiliers. We do got this large assault, but being pinned down or suppressed by the MG34. There is no Pack Howie. It's getting a squad of rear echelons. Yeah, I don't think that was a right call for having the squad of rear echelons. He could make use of a Pack Howie. He could he is approaching fuel for a Sherman bulldozer. Maybe that is what he's eyeing for. Panzerfusiliers throwing out a frag. Those things are not very good, especially against a wide open group, so not exactly a great idea, especially when you're starving for munitions. You gotta stop throwing those frags when you're starving for munitions. We got some Volksgrenadier capturing the munitions up here. He will need that. And we got the Stone Pioneers. Do have a Minesweeper, but he sees he's facing against armor. Didn't see any assault engineers. Only he can make use of that Minesweeper is the faster repair rate. He also didn't see any M20. Do have a Sherman bulldozer now moving on forward. He is upgrading it with the pintle mount. You got a bounce from the Beckenwerfer. He's going to eye for hitting it. We'll get a very good hit there, wiping off 2 of the models. Volksgrenadier is going to try to get a Panzerfaust. He most likely will get it, but will force to retreat. In fact, actually the Browning will actually provide suppression. Looks like we've got more crushes and failed Panzerfaust once again. Actually, that may have been from sheer Panzer quarters. Never mind. Sherman going ahead, moving forward. He does have enough munitions to throw out Panzerfaust just to stall out the Sherman tank. We'll get a nice hit there. Now we do have the huge 240mm howitzers available. do a very massive but very RNG barrage. Oh, nice shot! That was a max range shot. Panzer IV is on the build queue. He will need an eye to get out another M10 if he wants to really deal with that. However, we do still have the AT gun, so that along with that, along with the M10, should be able to hold off the Panzer IV. But however, the AT gun has a significant trouble trying to deal with OKW Panzer IVs. They do great against Austere Panzer IVs, but have a bit of trouble versus OKW. Unless you use the AP rounds. We have a blobby style right here. Of course, when you're trying to force away these individual squads running around, that's more or less inevitable. Church is a bit low in health. You get the Panzer IV swing up wide, going for the Pintle Mount, which he is running a bit low on munitions, so it is a very determining decision. Do you want to have more anti-infantry, or do you want to have more Panzerfaust throw at? Looks like these riflemen squad will not be left out to dry. We got the AT gun, Sherman, and M10 all responding up to this Panzer IV. But he will spot this Panzer IV right now. And this Sherman Bulldozer, those units are not quite clumped up, so you probably won't get a wipe. Sure, Panzer IV going very deep, trying to displace that Browning, as a Vet 3 Browning, of course, will gain what more boost burst control, accuracy, and reload time, and reposition faster while garrisoned. We'll roll a mess with the M10. We got the Sherman Bulldozer hitting the headquarters and calling the heavy artillery, along with, and we do have the M10 using the AP rounds. We'll get a nice penetrative rear armor hit. Panzerfaust does get a hit, and we'll destroy the Panzer IV. He needs to make sure to get this Sherman take out of there. Its current main gun destroyed, so he won't be able to do all too much. We do got the Kenworth coming in for responding. Oh, but it's slowly getting whittled away from the sheer Panzer headquarters. He has nothing to stop this Vickenwerfer. The Vickenwerfer will get a kill on the M10, and the Panzerfaust is enough to finish off the Sherman. However, the Sherman is not crippled, and he's not getting a shot off the M10. However, he may get angle here, but there's this huge line of sight blocker, which would be a huge problem. In the center, we got the Browning pinning down some Volks. We'll also get the M10 there. We'll get the kill. But the Bulldozer, the more expensive asset, is still in fact alive. And he is just approached enough fuel for another Sherman Bulldozer if he wants a significant amount of AT. Or AP, anti-infantry. His opponent is a bit far away from the fuel. I'm getting another Panzer IV, but Jagdpanzer is always an option. At this point is in control of the OKW player, and he's just sending the Panzer Fusiliers down south to capture the other point. We got another, actually it's going to be M10, probably a better idea to get some AT out. The flak half track is still alive and now making a re-emergence. Sure, Panzer quarters definitely need some repairs, but the Soon Pioneers are capturing up down south. M10 moving forward. It does not have enough armor to withstand these shots, so we'll be taking full damage, I believe. Or at least enough damage to probably get warded away, but I'm not sure if they have enough time. Actually, getting some nice bounces. I would just assume those things are always paper-thin armor. But I think he actually does have more armor than Jackson, so my original thought may be wrong. And he will clean up the Shira Panzer headquarters. Now he can either go for more of a Kenworfer and save for a Jagd Tiger, Oh, get some nice rear armor shots with the flak half track. And we'll get a kill with the flak half track. I also have never seen that before. Very impressive. Very good game sense. Those rear armor shots really doing a number. But he is a... I would say that M10 is probably worth it in order to take out that sheer panzer quarters. Because his opponent's now denied off all of his medium tanks. And he's far from this heavy. Of course, if you realize that, he'll probably actually go for another bulldozer and not for another M10, but he doesn't. He has a significant amount of damage in by the captain, but will be forced away. You got two Volcanic Warfers. That's very necessary for the fact that he has no way to get medium tanks. Like half track. Oh, actually still alive. I thought that was out of control, but nope. We'll roll a miss. I think that was a force fire ground. But there's no ground cover, no cover from the sheer panzer quarters. We will see an AT. No, not enough munition. It's on cooldown for the AT grenade. But we will see the Panzerfaust. Actually, that's still the Volcanic Warfer. And we'll get the kill on that flak half track. And actually, no munitions for the Panzerfaust. I just assumed there was enough. Oh, but he didn't reverse move far enough. But he will get out fine. You get the bulldozer coming in to hit these infantry squads. What is that? HM. Not sure. We got the Volcanic Warfer hitting the Sherman. He won't be able to sail around for long unless it gets a nice flank with these riflemen. If these riflemen can displace it, but the MG-34 will prevent the displacing. Again, ooh, he received 2 hits. That's a huge problem. He may get hit. Oh, just enough to live. I forget these things have a little bit more health than a regular Sherman. He's one Panzerfaust away from death. Actually, no. Panzerfaust have a damage of. I think it has 120 HP left. And Panzerfaust, they have a damage of 200 or 100. I forget. If it's 200, it's clearly dead. If it's 100, not so much. And the tickets are still in favor of the OKW player. Not exactly sure what he should invest into. Most likely, I would say another M10 would be a safe option, but another bulldozer is actually probably the correct option at the moment for the USF player. And for the OKW player, he just needs to save up his heavy or go for a mechanized truck. He did, in fact, go for a mechanized truck, so I would say M10s just actually beat Pumas. They just have more health. So I'm guessing he's going to save up for King Tiger. Because are still counting down in favor of the OKW player. And he's just going to try to go for a crush right here. We'll run into these Volcanic Warfers. These Volcanic Warfers have been on point for defense. They ward away the M10 crushes along with the bulldozers, anti-infantry asset. Bulldozer is just not really too cost effective for what it does. We do got a huge 240mm howitzer barrage. We'll probably destroy the house within the first shot. Or nail the lag, as that radius is absurd. We do got the bulldozer doing significant amount of damage now up the vet 2, but receiving Volcanic Warfer fire. think it's still counting in favor of they're actually neutralized at the moment. There goes the house. Will decrew the Vickenwerfer. That's actually the important part. Now his bulldozer has little fear of reprisal. But there's nothing here to capture the point, and he's only on 1 victory point. He needs at least 2. We got another squad of Panzer Fusiliers. I disagree with the whole man spam idea. Especially when you're fighting against bulldozers. We got a Pack Howie coming out, but it's a bit too late for it. He actually could have got another bulldozer for anti-infantry. He spotted this Vickenwerfer is decrewed. And you got this OKW player just sending his infantry on basic suicide missions, just holding off his opponent's advance just long enough for the countdown tickets. In fact, he is sending over another squad over here, the southern point, to create currently a double cap moment, and for a brief moment a triple cap. In fact, he's sending Volk's Grenadiers here to stop the capture. Of course, they do get pinned down because they're negative ground versus the MG-34. Bulldozers pushing forward, trying to displace that MG-34. Those lose the captain, but this game is spelled over. There's currently a triple cap with down to the last 10 tickets. That just spells this is game over. This is what happens when you rely on the M10 crushes. They tend not to work out unless you get a miracle crush. And this is the end of the replay. This is Agion saying thank you for watching, and thank you for submitting, and have a good day.